was fully aware of me making that decision in that moment, and I justified it for myself in that moment. Even though I was so submerged in it, I was still able to say, okay, if I make this decision, I know that this is going to be the outcome from it. And all that I'm saying is that men and women need to take the accountability of being aware of what is going on in that moment, because every decision that we make is going to affect us in some type of way in the future. So if we want to make the most and the best out of our lives, then that is how it is that we have to approach it. That's all that I'm saying.
And I call
Let
it
me,
making the
let me,
skill of
let me. Can
hard
I say
decisions.
something really
What's the
fast?
last thing?
Go ahead, Shan. I mean, go ahead, Ruth.
That was the last thing. I was just saying what Viz was talking about is the skill to make hard decisions. I had to teach myself and learn that. A lot of people in America, we don't want to make the tough choice. And when you get really good, you get to walk away. It took me a very long time to walk away from a very bad situation, but it was in the moment. Like I had so many red flags, like do it now, do it now, do it now. Still going back, still. I had a split second. I was like, you know what? This thought, and I was done. And from then on, I learned how to make hard decisions, and your life gets much better when you do that. That's all, Casey.
So, Viz, I understand the angle of what you're coming from, right? Because I'm about self accountability. My parents both instilled myself, my siblings, your control of your decisions, critical thinking skills, X, Y, and Z. With that being said, I know I'm a different breed than a lot of people, right? And it allows me to look at people from their decisions based on what they're equipped with and not based on what I'm equipped with and my personal interpersonal skills with dealing with people and being able to protect myself, whether it may be in business or in relationship, right? I personally know friends that have been in situations similar to this because I know a lot of people and have been around a lot of people. It comes a point, especially when you're talking about the tender age of 18, of manipulation, right? Of also protecting your offender, right? Whether it's sexual abuse, whether it's a parent, a family, or a relationship, whether it's male or female, it's so much more entangled of emotions as well as your duty to protect them while you're being completely violated, right? So to try to unpack that and not be a person that has gone through that, I think is doing a disservice to the audience right now, because unless we, Ruth is speaking from her personal experience, but unless we have personally gone through that to say what somebody should do and how they should handle it and what they should have did and how they should have left the first time and why did you stick around at the tender age of 18? And it also goes with coaches and Boy Scouts. People get molested and beat for decades on end. It's so psychological. It's not just physically getting beat upside the head or getting in beat. It's a psychological strain and grip that their offender has on them. So not only do they have to physically break from that, but they have to mentally break from that person and break from that grip that that person has psychologically on them. So for me, I don't even think about, oh, why did she stay so long? All of the things that I just described, all of that's going on, and then pile on who Diddy is, right? He's not the everyday person. And then pile on money, influence, cameras, action, all of that smoke and mirrors on top of that. So not only is she going through what a lot of Americans and people in general go through every single day, she also was in the limelight protecting herself, her image, and protecting Diddy's self and image, and also thinking about the backlash of what would happen to her family if her check stopped, right? Because Diddy was then funding and fueling her lifestyle at that point in her career. He was the machine behind it and making sure that she was on point. He was even behind her style and image of her being an artist. telling her to shave her side of her hair, cut her hair completely off, all of these things. So the psychological part of it, I think we would be remiss if we don't include that in the conversation, and also be respectful of how of a tender age she was. Her journey and anyone's journey does not have to look identical to anybody else's journey when it comes to abuse. It does
I,
not.
I
Real
agree
quick.
again.
We
I
so
agree with you again. Wait, let me. I agree with you again. All that I'm saying, and I'm sure that we can all agree to this, is the only way that we can stop this from happening is through awareness. It's through
Biz,
awareness.
you're not gonna stop it from happening, Biz.
Of course, I know we can't
It's
stop it
not,
from
yeah,
happening.
yeah,
It-
it's
it's,
not.
it's always going to happen, but awareness on its own, that is everything. So if we can make people, men and women, if we can make them aware as to what is going on and how to handle the situation in that moment and give the power back to that person. Ruth said it herself. She wasn't able to walk away from it until she realized that she had the power herself. So if we focus more on giving the power back to these potential victims, then
Mhm.
just imagine how many lives we can save. You know what I'm
Biz,
saying?
I agree with you on that,
wait,
but it
All that
no,
all
we
I'm
gotta go to
saying.
the
everything starts in the home. Every single thing starts in the home. And when a young girl doesn't have a father protecting her at home, the world is going to be a freaking open season for anything to happen to her, because she's not aware of certain things that her father would have protected her from and poured into her. If she didn't see her mother be protected from the world, her mother loves properly, it doesn't matter what her mom says. Oh, her mom could say, hey, make sure these guys out here, and she could have a guard up, right? She can have a guard up because her mother may be a single mother. She can have a guard up saying, okay, I didn't see my mom get beat up, so I'm ready for it, right? But soon as she experiences a love that she's never seen before, then steps in manipulation, right? um false false love, and what she thinks real love is versus what love is supposed to be from a man and from a relationship. So just think, it's just so much to unpack. Yes, I believe in saying and spreading positivity, but even when it comes to like Girl Scouts or community groups, the home, if you don't get certain things at home, it's gonna make you open season for what the world has to offer as far as evil.